Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Ultra action figures for Ultraman Trigger's two form changes. On the left we have Power Type and on the right we have Sky Type. So if you're familiar with Ultraman Trigger at all, it's very much in the same formula as Tiga, where he starts off in multi-type and then has Power Type and Sky Type as his two form changes. So we finally have the two Ultra action figures for these. Packaging is pretty standard for Ultra action figures, just kind of the bubble on card with the figure inside. No accessories included. And then on the back you just get some random poses and then a whole bunch of warning stuff and other things going on back there. So not too much going on in the back of the packaging, but the front looks good. You get the little insert here with the name of the character and the little picture down here. Again, not too much going on in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and get both of these guys out of the packaging and we'll take a closer look. So here are the two figures out of the packaging, and right away you can kind of see that Sky Type is a little bit taller than Power Type. Not by much, but just a little. And I think that makes sense because Power Type is obviously kind of the more, muscular brawler, and Sky Type is kind of the lankier speed-driven type, so I think that kind of makes sense. And you can kind of see with Power Type that he's more muscular. He's got kind of larger biceps. He's actually got some abs molded in, and Sky Type doesn't really have that. He's definitely lankier for speed, which I think makes sense. Another thing to note, I really like how the kind of vest or shield, whatever you want to call it, on his chest changes when he switches into the different forms. I think that's kind of cool. I really like the configuration here. I think this gold looks really sharp. You have some nice silver paint. The head looks really good. Unfortunately, they don't really have any paint on the back, and that goes for both of them, but that's kind of standard for Ultra Action figures. Articulation's pretty standard as well. You have head movement up and down, side to side. Can't really tilt side to side, but it does look side to side. You have a hinge and a swivel in the arm, and you can get around. You just have to kind of move around the vest. You have the bicep swivel. You have 90 degrees in the elbow. You have a swivel in the wrist. And on both of my figures, unfortunately, the two sets of fingers are kind of loose, as you can see there. I'm not really sure why that is. I wonder if it's mold fatigue, because I'm sure they're probably using the same hands over and over again for all these figures. So they're kind of loose. I mean, it's not really a problem. You can still kind of close them up. And he doesn't have any accessories to hold either, but just worth noting they're a little loose there. No articulation in the waist. With the hip, he can kind of kick forward. He can kick out to the side. There is no thigh swivel, but again, that's typical for these. You have 90 degrees, and maybe a little over 90 degrees there in the knee, and then you have a ball joint in the ankles. So really nice paint on the front, really no paint on the back, and no waist or thigh articulation, which is kind of a bummer. But otherwise, I think they look pretty cool. Like I said, I really like how they decided to kind of mold in the muscles to make him look more like a fighter, because that's what Power Type really is. He's the stronger of all his forms. And then you have Sky Type with that kind of lankier look. Again, love the configuration with the shield up here. That gold paint's very sharp and looks very nice. And I love the two tones of blue. I think that also really works, especially with the gold. Just a really fun color scheme. Head sculpt looks good. He's got the exact same articulation as Power Type, so nothing really new there. His hands, fingers are actually kind of loose as well. Maybe even a little bit looser, which is kind of a bummer. But again, I really like the combination of the silver with the two shades of blue and the gold. Really, really sharp. So these are definitely excellent figures. Like I said, the only thing I can really complain about, it's not really worth complaining about the lack of articulation, because like I said, that's very standard for these figures. So if you've been collecting these at all, you kind of already know to expect that going in. But the loose fingers is kind of a bummer. But like I said, since they don't really have accessories to hold, I guess it's not that big of a deal. And you can still kind of hold them in poses. Like, they'll still move, but they're just definitely loose. So just something to be aware of. But still, two really excellent figures, and it's fun to have all three of Trigger's forms now. So we'll have to wait and see if he gets a fourth form later on in the show. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.